Hi all, in this video I compare the two APCs to give you an idea of which would be suitable for you if you've been considering buying between the two. I want to start by telling you what an APC is for those who are not quite sure. APCs are like the MPDs, are both USB software controllers made specifically to control the software in mind. But with APCs, they were made specifically for Ableton Live software. So if you're considering buying an APC for another software in mind, I would advise looking elsewhere for another controller. However, if Ableton is your choice of software, then by all means buy an APC. It was made to take full control of that software in mind. Both are made out of the same build quality, metal constructed design overall on both the APC20 and 40. Now, at the same time, if you look roughly by the side of the two devices, side to side, you could see it has this sort of rugged, hard rubber between the two. So these two devices, whichever one you pick, is going to last you a very, very long time. So you really are getting your money's worth. Now, closely looking at the APC40, it is on a kind of like a heavy side due to that extra sort of like control compared to the APC20, which is very portable and light. So, it's simple to hold with one hand, so no real issues there in regards to portability with the APC20 compared to the APC40, which is quite fairly big. So what I'm going to do is just give you a sort of a close-up look of the APC40 in general. So you've got the logos right there in front. You've got the main sort of like mixed part there. You've got your crossfaders, and there you could see there a close look at that hard rubber construction by the side of the APC. At the back, you've got your power on and off switch. You've got your mains input, and you've got your USB. You also get, with the APC40, you get 2-foot switch inputs, 1 and 2. Again, there's that sort of like metal sort of like constructions right there at the back. A nice closer look at this device. Again, very heavy, not something suitable for if you want to go portable, but construction wise excellent. And a closer look at the APC20, very light, very portable. Again, same kind of like design. There you've got that heavy, nice constructed rubber by the side of the device, well constructed sort of buttons and faders as well. At the back, again similar, you get your power on and off, your mains, and you get your USB, but unfortunately you don't get those two extra inputs as you would find on an APC40. Apart from that, they pretty much almost look identical, for the exception of that extra part between the two devices. Both gets the same software integration. The APC20, being the smaller version, comes at a more affordable price, around 150, while the bigger brother will cost you a good 300, which is due to the size providing more controls. And exclusive on the APC40 is the crossfader, which is okay, not too bad, but something that you get on the 40, not on the 20. The buttons on both devices are rubbery, something similar to Machine or the Machine Micro that you'll find on Native Instruments. Good quality either way, they will last, nothing to really worry about. A difference between the APC20 and 40 is on the 40 you get these additional buttons as well, which are, instead of rubber, made out of some hard plastic, which do feel quite fairly good, something similar to the MPDs. That goes for the same with the encoders as well. Great build quality, again something similar that you find on the MPDs as well. Now essentially both have the same control layout on the main mixer. As you can see on the APC20, the main mixer section will be built from top to bottom, identical to the APC40, because the APC40 pretty much is half of the APC20. Faders are nicely sort of labeled, 1 going all the way up to 8, and then at the end, as the 9th fader, you've got your master fader. It's exactly the same on the APC40. 1 up to 8, and then you've got your master faders. The faders themselves do feel kind of stiff on both the 20 and the APC40, which is okay. Another thing I've noticed is they can kind of like get wiggly. Both of the faders do get wiggly, but they're still nicely built. Another great thing is both are removable. Faders are removable, so you could put your own. You could get an idea right there of how that looks with the cap completely taken off, but they're still nicely built. Again, APC40, wiggly, and again, it's removable, so that way you could customize your faders to the way you see it suitable. Looking at some of the buttons on the APC20, you've got your activator sections, solo cue, and then you've got your arm record, which stretches out to at least 8 sort of control buttons. And at the end of that, you've got your nice sort of cue level rotary knobs. Again, nice quality with the knobs there. Same thing on the APC40, activator, your solo cue, and your record arm, stretching to the 8 channels. And then at the far end, you've got your nice constructed cue level as well. Moving up, we have on the APC20 8-track selection buttons, nicely labeled, but also made out of your transport controls, navigation, and your track selection as well. On the APC40, all you've got is a track selection controls, buttons going all the way up to 1 to 8, and a dedicated master button. On top, you've got your clip stop buttons stretching out to 1 all the way up to 8. You've got a stop or clip and a dedicated shift button right there to activate the secondary controls on the APC20. On the APC40, you've got your stop click buttons stretching again all the way 1 to 8, and a dedicated stop or clip buttons, not a shift button in that place. By the side of the APC40, we've got our 5 dedicated scene launch buttons, something that you will also find similar on the APC20, identical in every way. 5 dedicated scene launch button. And then we've got in the center on top, we have our 8x5 clip launch grid, where this is where you will actually put all your work in various sort of tracks. So 8 going across and coming down the column, you've got your 5 dedicated grids right there. And exactly the same again on the APC40, 8x5, 8 across, and 5 clips coming down. So between the two devices, these particular sections are all exactly the same. There's not really anything different, clipping and stopping, but there is sort of like a 1 dedicated stop or clip button on the APC40, and on the 20 you've got a dedicated shift button to gain you access to all of these secondary functions crammed in. The APC40 further adds more functionality with extra section on the left that consists of 8 encoders track control section, and then you've got below that you've got a 4 buttons to either control your pan, SAN A, SAN B, and C. You get a dedicated tap tempo button, minus and plus nudge button, and then you've got it has its own dedicated shift button, and then next to that you've got your bank selector as well. Right below that, another 8 encoders for device control of any of your parameters of your instruments or effects. Now the 16 encoders I forgot to mention are endless, and you can see they have a LED surrounded to clearly indicate the values. Knobs are easily removable. You got your left and right dedicated buttons, you've got device on and off, and then you've got a dedicated clip and track. Below that you've got a detail view button, and you've got a record quantize. You've got the MIDI overdub, metronome, whenever you need it directly on the board. And then you've got those dedicated transport, play, stop, and record button. And just below that you've got your nice crossfader. So with these additional faders, that pretty much distinguishes the APC40, really giving you sort of like that full hands-on experience with all of these extra functionality that really makes most out of the Ableton Live software. Now the APC20 has an exclusive note mode button which you will not find on the APC40. This note mode is something that will turn your clips into a drum rack to play beats. However, the pads on the APC are fairly small and not really pressure sensitive. So, and the other thing about the APC20, you can gain additional controls to the secondary functions that you have crammed in there by holding down the shift button and pressing all clips, or using your crossfader to gain access to certain various other controls. That's pretty much it between the two devices. Now, which one should you buy? First, as I've said, bear in mind that both are made for Ableton and don't come with any software editor templates for other softwares. So if you're after an Ableton controller, then both are great devices. If, however, you're going to be DJing or performing live, then the APC40 is the #1 choice, as it will give you that greater hands-on access, whereas the 20 will limit you from tweaking your device's controls. If it's production, then the 20 is more than capable. Plus, you get that added note mode to play beats or various other notes for your instruments. For me personally, I choose the APC40 for production use over the 20 because I found it to be a lot more straightforward and easy to gain direct control over all of my plugins and parameters. Plus, I rather the encoders over the faders with better value indicators and the onboard dedicated buttons that truly gave me more of a full hands-on experience than the APC20. The APC20 worked great for navigation, but I did find myself most of the time using my mouse. So overall, I would highly recommend the APC40 if you're looking for that full hands-on experience. Hope you've enjoyed the video comparison, and do keep it locked as I will have an MPD26 and an MPD32 video comparison with the possibility of a Machine MK1 and the Machine MK2 comparison as well. Hope I've answered majority of my subscribers' questions. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate all of your support, and cheers. Have a good one.